crackling off a half-shelf, yeah. Is there a point to all these fancy clothes? With all these buckles from your head down to your toes. Very simple, but I'm just another girl. It's not so easy, but I'm giving it a whirl. Is there something that you're trying to prove? With all the makeup and the way you move, are you looking for some sympathy? No, I'm trying to be the best girl I can be. Very simple, but I'm just another girl. It's not so easy, but I'm giving it a whirl. Like my martini try, cosmos I won't deny. Smoke those on cigarettes. Thank God I'm not dead yet. Done all these crazy things, short of a wedding ring. Just love, 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 love.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Calista Solon, and this is nlcTrans. Tonight I'm here with my dear friend and usual co-host, Tara Alexander. I actually thought we were going to have a couple other people on tonight, but things don't always go as we expect. So tonight we have a few things we're going to talk about. I wanted to talk about a little bit about some of the things that are coming up. We were going to talk a little bit about the basics of gender identity, and there's a huge amount of confusion about this. I'm confused about this, and you know, this is all sort of new territory, and it's been pointed out to us on many occasions that that sort of the layperson out there doesn't always know what we're talking about, and of course neither do we. But but anyway, we were going to talk about that a little bit, and there was just a couple things I wanted to mention before we get. I've got noises over here. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to see what that was. A little bit. I wanted to say just a couple things. First, I wanted to say hi, Bob. I believe my friend is watching tonight. I wanted to say hi to Blair in Texas.
Yes.
You know Blair.
Yes, I was going to suggest that.
Is one of our viewers views our show on the YouTube. Obviously, she can't watch us live because she's in Texas.
She's in Texas.
But she is one of ours, and always sends us nice comments. And I just wanted to say, hi, Blair. Thanks for watching, and keep watching, and you know, we will keep talking to you. So, anyway, I got a couple things. Did you want to go into the basics of this before I?
No. Why don't we go through what you've got?
I just wanted to quickly mention I got a couple of things just before we came on from Tambria. Thanks, Tambria. Tambria is always sending me really cool stuff. So anyway, I got an interesting thing here. Apparently, there is something going on with the VA at the moment. They are trying to decide whether or not they should pay for gender identity-related procedures, surgeries, that kind of thing.
Just like any other sort of healthcare provider.
Right.
They have to address the issue of this, according to the doctors, medically necessary procedures.
Right. And it's interesting. So we're sort of seeing this on a lot of different fronts now. You know, the insurance companies are starting to look at this. The fact that the VA is looking at this, I don't believe they've actually made a decision on this yet. But their policy had been basically, forget it. We're not covering any of this stuff. And because I believe it was was it the AMA that said?
Yes, the American Medical Association a couple months ago, the doctors at one of their annual conferences had put out basically a statement. Working from memory here, that transgender issues are medically necessary in a nutshell. That for folks that are diagnosed as being transgender, that there's a series of procedures, not all of them necessary for everybody, but that insurance companies and doctors should. Well, first and foremost, treat transgender patients fairly. Treat them like your other patients and not discriminate against them. And then secondarily, secondary, whatever. The
Secondarily.
Secondarily?
I'm not sure either.
The other thing they said was that insurance companies, that pressure should be brought to bear against insurance companies to cover
Yes.
procedures that doctors deem medically necessary for the health and well-being of their patients.
Right, and that just doesn't here we go. That doesn't just apply to us. I mean, obviously, that's an issue. That's not a new issue.
No.
And that's something that is certainly true for everybody. You know, insurance companies shouldn't be dictating what procedures you get to have. I have a kind of an issue with that. I think most people do. But you know, that we're not going to get into that debate tonight, I don't think.
There's a whole healthcare reform on the horizon that will give us plenty of opportunity to get into that debate.
I hope so. So that's going to be interesting. But it's interesting. I mean, it's a good thing to see that, you know, some an agency like the VA
Right.
is actually starting to look at this. So I think the sort of the tide is in our favor. So I'm kind of pleased by that. I was happy to see that. I think I got a couple other things, but I think they were jokes. So
Well.
so I didn't really get a chance to look at this. I got a kind of an amusing joke about our former administration, which is now gone, and I probably shouldn't do that because I will be shot or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. I'm not sure that most of this really applies to us, but I was kind of excited about the VA thing.
Yeah, I saw the article for the VA article on the web, but didn't get a chance to read it between coming home from work and leaving for this.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. There's always so much going on that it's not always easy to keep up.
But new today.
New today.
Yep.
And
the other things that I had found that were in the media that are not actually from today, but recently, February 20th time frame. I sent these out over through our mailing list. So some of you may already know this, but the State Senate of North Dakota passed legislation that will bar discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity in matters of employment, public accommodations, housing, state and local government services, insurance, and credit transactions. So that's the first step. They still have to go in front of their House, and their governor has to sign it. Of course, there are family groups that are
of course.
protesting it, but Senator Tom Feiberg, a Fargo Democrat, says, if someone's not doing their job or habitually tardy or doesn't get along with people, they can still be fired, whether gay, lesbian, or straight. What employers can't do under this law is fire someone because they are gay. They said more than 100 cities and counties across the U.S. now prohibit employment discrimination based both on gender and sexual orientation. 12 states and the District of Columbia, and with your help, Connecticut, soon, will have this protection in place. An additional 8 states and 80 cities and counties prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation alone. The other unfortunate news coming out of Wisconsin, well, not necessarily unfortunate, but the governor of the state of Wisconsin has announced plans to introduce domestic partnerships. Jim Doyle said the issue was not about